Hi guys, how is everybody? So today we're going to be making a Mimikkyu plushie, and so the materials that you need, I'm using Shannon Minky fabric, but you can probably use something like fleece if you want. This is yellow, just yellow it's called. And then for the tail and ears, I'm using this brown. I'm pretty sure it's caramel. So you can use black for the ears if you want. Pretty sure the tail is brown though. And I've already done the embroidery for the face on my material. If you don't have an embroidery machine, you could do applique, or you could even probably just paint it right on the fabric. But for now I have it already embroidered here. So I already drew my pieces. I drew my pattern pieces on the brown already, and I'm gonna draw on the yellow. And you also are gonna need these like weighted pellets or beads for the bottom, so that he can stand up on it by himself. So I'm gonna get my pattern and we're going to draw it on here. So since my embroidery is facing this way, same direction, so when you flip it over you have to flip the pattern over too. So we're gonna do that. Okay, so now I've drawn out all my pattern pieces. So of course, make sure one is facing to the right and one's facing to the left, so that you can put them right sides together. And I'm not going to completely cut out each piece yet, because I want to keep things easy for myself. So first, what I'm gonna do is sew the darts together. So these lines on the pattern, on the top and the bottom, I'm going to fold the fabric over and sew them, just sew this line right here. And I'm going to do that on both pieces. Now I'm also going to sew the tail together and then cut it out after I'm done sewing it. So now the darts are sewn, and I'm going to cut off all the excess fabric around the darts mostly. Okay, so you can see I didn't cut out fully each piece because it's going to be a little easier to sew together that way. So what I'm going to do is line up each piece together, and I'm going to use my pins for that. So I'll stick a pin through this corner here, and I'll match it up to the same place on the other side. Okay, so I'm gonna match it up and pin it together. I'm gonna do the same on the other ear, the other side of the head. And I'm also gonna do on the, like right under the neck, on each part. Just so that I can have it lined up. More or less lined up anyway. I'm just gonna pin down here. Doesn't have to be completely lined up. So now we're going to attach the ears to the, well, the ears on the body. So what I do, and this is just my method, you can do it however you want, but I just keep the two ear pieces together and I cut the very bottom of the ear so that I can just attach it while it's still kept together. And so I'll do that on both sides. And then after, I'll have like plenty of room to sew around. So our Mimikkyu here is now ready to sew all around. So we're going to start from the bottom, go all the way around each ear and end at this point so that we have an opening on the bottom. So now it's sewn, and this is when you're finally going to cut off all of this excess fabric. So I usually cut about a 1/4 of an inch away, or not even that, actually more like 1/8 of an inch away from the seam. So you can pretty much cut kind of close. Just make sure you leave enough for the so the seam doesn't fall out. So this is where now you're going to have to attach a bottom to your plushie. So I don't actually have a pattern piece for this, because what I tend to always do is I just grab a big piece of fabric. It could be even just like scrap if it's big enough, and pretty much I will just spread open the bottom and just like put it on top, and I literally just like pin and sew it all around. So that's what I'm gonna do, and that's what you can do, because I don't actually have a pattern piece for the bottom. So I'm going to stretch it out a little bit, not too much. It's not necessary to spread it like as much as you possibly can, but just enough so that you have like a flat bottom. And I'm just gonna use a couple pins, and what you want to do is leave an opening somewhere on the back side. So see, this is my front because it has embroidery on it, and then so you'll want to have a hole somewhere around here. So I'm just gonna cut this excess off. And now let's sew. Okay, so now all you have to do is cut the excess off again, this time on the bottom, and you can see I left a little hole right here. So that's where you're going to turn and stuff it. In fact, my hole is a little too small for me, so I'm going to make it a little bigger. But for now, we're going to cut off the excess fabric. Okay, so now your Mimikkyu is pretty much ready to be turned and stuffed, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to turn it right side out through the bottom hole. Oops. So now he's all turned right side out, and we're going to stuff him first. So grab some stuffing, and I'm going to start by doing his ears first. Okay, so this is where the beans are going to come in. So I've stuffed mostly the head and a little bit of the neck, and there's still some section here that's empty. So this is where the beans are mostly going to go. So I have my trusty tool here, a funnel, and this is going to help. So we're going to put the funnel in the hole here, and we're just gonna pour about half of the funnel. Probably gonna put more beans than that, but to start we'll do this amount. And just get those all in the belly here. Got a couple runaways. could use a little bit more stuffing actually. And another method that you can do is you can actually make a little sack of fabric and put all of the beans inside the sack, and then just stick the sack in the bottom so that they don't go everywhere. Of course, I did not choose to do that. I just chose to put them straight in here. But if you want to, you can make a little sack for the pellets. So finally, we're going to now sew him shut. So Mimikkyu is almost done. He just needs one more little thing, and that is his tail. So I stuffed the tail, closed it up. You can use ladder stitch or lip stitch to close all the holes. And now I'm gonna use again a whip stitch to attach the tail. So you can also use a ladder stitch, but pretty much just come in and go like around here. Okay, so we've attached the tail using a whip or ladder stitch, whichever you prefer. And now it's just a little floppy, so what we're gonna do is just anchor it down right over here. So I'm going to first do a stitch here. I'm gonna double it so it's secure, and then we're just gonna sew again onto the tail and pull it so it'll be secure. And we're gonna do that a couple of times. So finally we're going to knot that off. I'll do it twice. And so finally, Mimikkyu is finished. Yay! So I will have a link to the pattern in the description, and I'll also have a link to the embroidery file if you want to try it out. It's through Craftsy. I think you might have to have an account for that, but it shouldn't be a problem. So those will both be free, so you can try it yourself. And I hope this was helpful. Thanks, guys. Bye.